Tonight's top story, twin brothers from Ottawa arrested on terrorism charges. The 24-year-olds Ashton and Carlos Larmond appeared in court by video link on Saturday. According to court documents, the brothers are facing a number of charges, including facilitating terrorist activity, participation in activity of a terrorist group, and attempting to leave Canada to participate in terrorist activity. Then today, a third arrest in connection with these twin brothers. This afternoon, Ottawa police announced the arrest of Suleiman Mohammed, 21, on terror-related charges. Marc Labouille is president and CEO of Point Bascule. He joins us now from Montreal. Marc, you've got your work cut out for you over the next few days. I know that you and your website, you keep track of Islamists inside Canada and out, and now you've got 3 potential arrests. What do we know about these twin brothers? We've seen stories saying that they are good neighbors, that they used to play hockey, but now we're told that these two, in addition to Mr. Mohammed, all facing terrorism-related charges.
Yeah, well, the accounts, according to what the newspaper are bringing out, are actually contradictory. There's some people in the neighborhood that said they had a violent streak. I think that one of them was actually kicked out of a hockey team for his violent streaks. So there's some contradicting accounts there. What else do we know is the fact that they attended a mosque in Ottawa, the As-Salam Mosque. The mosque leader basically says that they were not members of the mosque, but that is not necessarily an indication that they did not attend the mosque and that they were not attentive to what was taught there. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there are serious charges over here, and we're having a problem since the 2 terror attacks that we lived in. You had also one in Ottawa yourself. What we do know is that there's a problem of radicalization. And there was a report by CSIS several months ago, about 1.5 years ago, that basically says that people are not just being radicalized on the internet, but on face-to-face, through their family, through their community. Well, and this is what we're seeing now. Yes, sorry.
You mentioned this mosque. It's the As-Salam.
Yes.
Am I saying it correctly? Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked about this mosque on the program before. Bilal Phillips, the Canadian, some call him a Canadian hate preacher. He was kicked out of the Philippines. He has spoken at this mosque. Now, I want to play a clip from Britain's Channel 4, their undercover mosque documentary, where they've got him preaching about marrying underage girls. He's previously preached about murdering homosexuals caught in the act. Let's roll the tape and then get back to the discussion.
The Prophet Muhammad practically outlined the rules regarding marriage prior to puberty. With his practice, he clarified what is permissible, and that is why we shouldn't have any issues about an older man marrying a younger woman, which is looked down upon by the society today. But we know that Prophet Muhammad practiced it.
All right. Now, he went to Channel 4 after that aired and said, you took me out of context. That's the whole context of what he said. But he said it's not permissible here in Britain, but in a Muslim country it would be. He said the same thing when questioned about his murdering homosexuals. He said, well, I wouldn't advocate that in Canada, but in a Muslim country, I would. But he goes around and he talks about how to bring that about. And he was at this mosque that these brothers attended.
So we have a historical background with this individual. He's a known. You just need to go on Google. There's no need for special inquiry, special report. You Google him, you can see his track record, and they decided to invite him regardless. So on top of it, he's banned from several countries, UK, Australia, the United States, I believe, and also several other countries, I think Kenya as well. And here's what he said to the Ottawa Citizen. He says that authorities must turn their faces to those who are offering young Muslims moral and sometimes financial support to adapt extremist views. There has to be individuals in this city, individuals in this country who are connecting these kids, he says, and I don't buy it for a second that these guys are somehow just deciding on their own they want to go on a plane and kill people. Now, the problem I'm having is if there has been a change at that mosque, then they would have to condemn the very Bilal Phillips that they invited, and specifically what they condemn. Do they condemn the fact that he wanted to impose Sharia law to Canada? Actually, he did express, Bilal Phillips, that he wanted to impose Sharia law. Now, here's another thing about Bilal Phillips that's interesting. When he was kicked out of the Philippines, this is what the Filipino authorities said about him. They kicked out because they feared that on the basis he was likely inciting or recruiting people to join terror groups.
And now we've got 2 young men who attended the mosque that he spoke at here in Ottawa. We don't know about the third, if he was also at that mosque. We'll find out more in coming days. That news just coming out this afternoon. A lot of connections to be made. Mark Labouie will continue to follow it at Point de Pascal. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Email us your thoughts, byline@sunmedia.ca. More to come.